Okay, so we're gonna get through some disclaimers before I start everything, okay? First, my edges are getting crispy underneath my scarf right now. As you can see, I have pulled out my natural hair. So yeah, I'm kind of letting her cook while I do my makeup. That way, by the time I'm ready to go, I just snatch the scarf off and we're good. My nails currently look a hot ratchet ghetto mess because I haven't gotten them done in like 2.5, 3 weeks. But we are going today. We are going, okay? It is happening. So don't judge my nails. Just don't. That'd be great. So I already primed my face. When I say primed, I mean like I got it ready. I'm not going to be mentioning every single product I'm using because this is like a chit chat. I don't want to get off track because I have the attention span of a small child. But I did already wash and moisturize my face. And if you hear some noise in the background, I'm sorry. There are some people moving in my apartment complex, so they've been making noise all morning, and I thought somebody was breaking in. I already sprayed my face with rose water and glycerin. I got this from Whole Foods. I've been using this a lot since I bought it, and it's just done wonders for the glow, you know. I went on a work trip recently, and there were different climates that we were in. So, like, we went to Houston, for example, and that Houston humidity like screwed with my face pH. So I got a couple breakouts going on that I don't appreciate because when I left, it was clear. I am talking about comparison, okay? Honestly, how comparison kills contentment. Ooh, this is a heavy one. So, just gonna preface, is that how you say it? Preface. I think that's how you say it. I'm gonna preface by saying that I'm not speaking from a place where I know it all. I never try to in these videos. I'm not trying to be anybody's guru, anybody's life coach, anybody's pastor, first lady, whatever. I'm really not. I'm just speaking from experience, and sometimes not even from experience. I'm speaking for what I'm currently going through. So this is coming from a relatable place, not a I know what's best for you. You should do what I say because I made a video about it type stuff. Like, that's just not how I roll. So we're not going to think of it as that. It's comparison is a problem. It really is. And it's so hard not to do because I don't know, like, before you even know you're doing it, like, you're doing it. Like, I'll do it randomly during the day sometimes. And sometimes it's okay because, you know, you're just making generalizations. You're not trying to down yourself. But, like, let's say I go to the mall and I'm just feeling crusty that day, okay? I am not feeling like myself. And I see a girl in the mall and she is looking bad, honey. Serving the kids, slaying my life, snatching my edges, all types of things like that. And, you know, I start kind of like comparing myself to her. I'm like, dang, she real put together today. This eyebrow looks trash and I'm going to start over. She looks real bomb today and I'm in here looking like Who Shot John. Like, that was a comparison I didn't even really have to make. It wasn't that deep. Like, she didn't get dressed that morning thinking about comparing herself to me. But here I am comparing myself to her. So, it's just like little stuff like that. I have to catch myself and be like, Trice, yo, stop doing that because it just ends up making you feel real crappy when you're done doing it. So I had a friend that told me, well, she didn't make this up obviously, but she pointed me towards this quote on Pinterest because my whole life is on Pinterest. My whole life is planned out on Pinterest. But she pointed me to a quote that said, comparison is the thief of all joy. And I was like, dang, you know, that's a lot because if you think about it, it kind of is. You can't even be happy for what you have because you're constantly like looking at what somebody else has got, and that's not necessarily fair to your life. And when I say like it's not fair to your life, it's not fair that you downplay maybe what you haven't even gotten yet because you've already written it off because it doesn't look like what somebody else has got. Just being transparent, I really have, it is a dog running amok outside. I still have a problem with comparison, and I have a problem with contentment. Just being honest, there's a lot of people that are like, I try not to compare myself, to compare my life to other people's, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, okay, sis, well, I did it this morning. Like, but when it comes to stuff like that, like, I don't see the problem with letting other people know, like, girl, I was real jealous today. Like, I'm able to talk to my friends, especially my roommate, and tell her stuff like that. Like, girl, I was just really salty today because I didn't have XYZ like so-and-so. Or, girl, like, I really had to catch myself today because I found myself being jealous or envious of something somebody else has gotten that I feel like I already need to have. Like, I speak on that kind of stuff because you acknowledging it is the first step to you stop doing it. Like, if you're in denial about it, like, oh no, I never compare myself to other people because what the Lord has for me is for me. And yes, that is 100% true. That should be the mindset that we carry because God does have something, for everybody individually. Like, we're all not on the same life plan. We're all not, like, on the same vacation package. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're just not. And that is, like I said, a true statement, but that doesn't mean you don't still do it. And acting like you don't, like I said, won't fix it. So we're going to say denial is the first step to stop comparing yourself to other people. Because if you are going around like fighting it all the time, then you really are comparing yourself worse than you think. And that's not okay, sis. Like, we got to get delivered. Whoa. I had it really bad in college. I had it real bad in high school. But the older I get, it's less shallow comparisons. So, like, for example, when I was in high school and I would have, like, comparison issues or contentment issues, it was so childish. Like, it was so basic. It was like, oh, I don't have a car. Like, and so has a car. And we're, like, 16, 17. Like, okay. And I'm like, oh, well, so-and-so just got the newest tennis shoes. And, I'm still wearing my pair that I got when school started. Like, why am I not blessed enough to have Jordans like so-and-so? Why can't, I have the jewelry like XYZ and so-and-so? Like, why can't, y'all, it was bad. It was so petty. It was basic. It was childish. And it wasn't even worth it. Like, it wasn't even that deep. Looking back, I'm like, girl, you was just fine without them shoes. You was just fine without that purse. You were just fine without that extra jewelry that you probably end up losing anyway. And it's tacky. So, it's not even in style anymore. Half the stuff I was tripping on that I didn't have, and I was looking at other people who did have it, it doesn't even matter anymore. And that the gag is that, that's the case. It's like, okay, we were all so hard pressed for XYZ, but are they even relevant at this point? Nope. Point proven. Like, once I got into college, it started to be a comparison about grades and standing. So, like, academic standing. So, I feel like every phase of your life is going to be a point where you're going to compare yourself to somebody else. Whether it's, consciously or not, you're going to do it. Because every stage of your life brings something different, I believe. So like I said, in high school, it's real shallow. It's real materialistic. It's all about fitting in, looking the part, talking the part, acting the part, whatever. And it's not anything of substance that you're trying to emulate. But well, even then, it's kind of like popularity comparison too, because that was something I did as well. Like, well, so and so knows everybody, and they have more friends than I do, and blah blah blah. And it's like, so half of the friends that I wanted in high school that other people had, they not even friends no more. So the gag is the same thing as the material stuff. Was it even like something to be upset over? Nope. Once I moved to college, it started to be more about, okay, my grades aren't as good as so and so, because at that point they're like, you need to be working. It's like Hunger Games to try to get a job after you get out of here. So make sure that, like, you're on top of everything. You don't slip, you don't do XYZ, you keep it together at all times. And it's so much academic pressure that you can't help but to compare yourself to other people. Like, literally the whole school grading system is a comparison scale. Like, I don't think people think about that as often as they should. The whole thing is comparing us to somebody else, where you stand in relation to the class that you're with, where you stand in relation to kids in the nation, where you stand in relation to kids around the world who are doing better curriculum than you are. Like, the whole thing is a comparison scale. And if you let it, like, it'll mess you up, because you're thinking that you can't be successful if you don't constantly keep up with the comparison of other people. And the weird thing is, once you get into college, you're doing different stuff. Like, you're already on a different life path from the time that you're born. But golly, like, by the time you get to college, everybody's picking a different major. You don't even eat lunch at the same time as other people. So what makes you think like that we still all on one field? We're not. Let's say like I was an art, liberal studies kind of major, and I was comparing myself to somebody that was an engineering major. Like, those are two separate things. You can't do that. That's not fair. Like, you're setting yourself up to kind of feel some type of way, because that's not even on an equal playing field, like, from the jump. So you kind of already lost. And so that's kind of what I was doing, like, real bad. I had people around me that were, academic superstars, and that's great. That's what you want to aim to be. You don't want to suck at school. Like, but at the same time, I don't have to get a 4.0 just because everybody else is getting a 4.0. Like, I want to get a 4.0 because I want a 4.0, and that's so I can keep up with Susie and hopefully get the same job and opportunities that she does. Like, I think you have to check your motives when it comes to comparison, because I do believe in healthy competition all the way. Like, I'm very competitive to some extent, and so I'm like, ooh, I really admire what so-and-so is doing. I think I could push myself to do a little better too. Like, look to somebody and admire them, and, admire their drive because somebody is doing the same thing with you. But don't take it as a, like, oh, well, they're doing better than me, so I can't. And that's something that will really plague you and stop you from even getting to maybe that point if you let that be a thing. And that was me. Like, they would brag. And when I say they, I just mean people. Some people I would hang around. They would brag about, yes, like, I passed all my tests this week with nothing less than, like, an A. And here I am over here, like, struggling sometimes to just keep me a nice solid B. Probably a C, depending on which class it was. Especially in math, because that was just no ma'am, no ham. But it's just like, when you constantly hear stuff like that and you're in that kind of environment, you can't help but to constantly compare yourself to other people. Especially once you graduate and people start getting jobs and all of this other stuff, and you may still be unemployed looking for something. But everybody has a degree at this point. So does that mean like they were better than you because maybe they found an opportunity before you did? No. It's just kind of the way the cards, you know, hit the table. It's the way the dice rolled. It's the way it just went down. But that doesn't make you less than because, you know, they're at the point that they need to be. If I can tell anybody that don't do that, that's so dangerous. To just be constantly comparing yourself and your academic walk and your college experience to somebody else's too, because I did that as well. I was like, dang, so-and-so is always out. You know, they always meet new people. They're always doing new stuff with other folks. And, you know, they get a lot of invites out and I don't. I'm sitting here in my dorm, like, by myself, or, you know, I'm not doing something as cool as they are, so they must be, like, a better, a cooler person than I am. No. They may have just bumped into the right people. But you don't think about that type of stuff when you're in your feelings and you're doing the comparison game. And that's, some of that stuff is only in your head. It's not even factual. You over here thinking that somebody is prettier than you, smarter than you, more competent than you, more capable than you, more likable than you, more, sometimes more spiritual than you, more classier than you. And in reality, they're not. It's just circumstantial. It's just you overthinking. It's just you like, okay, you know, it happened like this, so it must be this for this reason. And that's, like I said, a dangerous place to be because that's not true. It's just not. So I would definitely, like I said, check the reasons why you are constantly comparing yourself. Are you trying to be a better you? And so you're just kind of, you know, admiring from afar, but tweaking whatever you're looking at to fit you as a person? Or are you just upset because you can't have exactly what somebody else has and what you feel like you deserve? And that's the thing, like, this is hard to say, but who are we to say who deserves what and who doesn't? We're like, oh, so-and-so got a new job. And it's like, okay, why can't they get a new job? You kind of just maybe want their job. And you're comparing, you know, the fact that you don't have it and they do. And now they automatically don't deserve it. And that's not right. Like, that's not what's up. Because I wish somebody would be like, oh, like, Trice got a new job. Oh, who'd have thought? Like, me. Because I deserve a new job. And I get it, especially when you're kind of doing what you're supposed to do. And you see other people just kind of not giving a F. And it seems like they are prospering. Like, oh, they are getting it, honey. They got the car you want, the job you want, the man that you wish you could get, like, or the woman, whatever. And you just, I get the tartness. I've been there. I have been one of the saltiest people on the planet at one point in my life. Like, the ocean didn't have nothing on me, y'all. Like, I was tart. I was justified in what I thought. Like, well, I'm this and I'm that, and, you know, why don't I have this? It may not be for you. Because it's been some stuff, I've gotten both sides of the coin. It's been some stuff I've gotten, and I didn't even really need it. It was just like, girl, you was upset over this. It wasn't even worth it once you finally got it. And then it's been some other stuff where, like, maybe I didn't get it, but I've been fine without it. So it's like, you get stuff when it's time. I believe in timing. And like I said, that's not to say that I don't get frustrated, because I do. I'm human. I do kind of have my own timeline. But it's not about me. Like, it's about what God has planned for me. And I know that sounds cliche, and people say that all the time. It's all in the Lord's plan. And that doesn't mean, like, don't take any action towards your own life. But at the same time, stop comparing what you maybe not even supposed to have to what somebody is supposed to have. You'll be in such a better headspace. You'll be in such a better heart space. You'll be in such a better overall space because you're not doing that 24/7, stressing yourself out, you know, turning your skin all bad, just losing edges. It's not worth it, sis. It's not. I'm still currently single. I see other people, and at this point, like, I'm 23. It's not weird to see people starting families, getting married, you know, having kids, all of that stuff. And to an extent, it's some days I'm like, ooh, girl, you know you are not ready to be nobody's mama. And quiet as it's kept, nobody's wife, because you are just, ma'am. But it's also some other days because I am human, and, you know, I think about that kind of stuff. I'm just like, dang, when am I gonna get married? When am I gonna, not even get married, when am I going to have a boyfriend again, you know? Because I'm almost, I think, 2 years almost single. And don't get me wrong, like, I've had a blast because I have fun regardless. But there are some rough days, and I get on social media and I get the comparing real bad. I'm like, so-and-so got a date and I don't. Like, what do they have that I don't? Different timing. It's not like they're prettier than me, and I'm not trying to, like, you know, be like, and they not bad, and like, that's not what I'm trying to do. But same thing with me. Like, if the roles were reversed, it's not that I'm prettier or that I have more to offer. It's just something different. They have something different to offer to the person that they're with. And one, that timing is not for me. That person is not for me. None of that is it. None of it screams my life. None of that screams Trice's life. So I can't even really be salty when other people are getting stuff meant for them. And that's the thing. You don't know what's meant for people. So we like to think that we're so all-knowing and we are omniscient and all this, but we're not. The only person that is God. And so it's like, this may have been their time. You don't know what valley they done been in to get to where they are. They may have been right where you are for 6 years, and you only been there 2. And you up here like, they don't deserve to be married. They don't deserve to be pregnant. They don't deserve to be happy. Take it, Jesus. And it's like, girl, they been waiting. It's time to reap the harvest God promised me, okay? Take back what the devil stole from me and rejoice today. You just don't know what people have had to walk through in order to get to where they are. So the comparison is really unnecessary and it's really pointless because it's not going to speed up your process anymore. And that's something I had to come to terms with, and I'm still coming to terms with it. Because like I said, I still have my days, and I'm just like, dang, I know patience is a virtue, but I feel like I'm all out. Like, I want what I want now. I'm impatient, and I can admit that. And I'm just like, no, because if you just give it to me now, like, I promise it would be the best thing that, you know, you ever put together. If you put me and together, what, ma'am? If you put me and so together, it'll be the best union you've ever seen. I mean, come on, God. Like, if you give me XYZ, like, I'll treat it like nobody else has, you know, treated it. And he can see it before you can. And he's like, no, you wouldn't. You would fudge that all the way up. Okay? Don't even act like you wouldn't. And quiet as it's kept, I have to really check myself sometimes and be like, if you really got what you wanted so bad right now, would you even be able to sustain it? Would you? Like, I'll wait. No. Okay, I thought so. Just because you could have something doesn't mean you need to have something right freaking now. Like, if I had a new job right now, like, would I be able to handle it? Have I gotten everything I needed to get and know from this job in order to be successful at my next one? Or would I just be carrying the same trash that I messed up to a new location? Like, you can move spots all day, but if you don't have the correct materials to be in there, it don't matter. It's kind of like switching apartments, but you never take any furniture with you. Like, you might as well stay where you was at, paid cheaper rent, like, and actually got you something, and then you could take that to the next spot. Like, that's kind of how I see it. Yeah, you could get it, but would you be able to keep it? And that applies to a lot of stuff. Like, you don't want to just get married, you want to stay married. Like, if I was to get with somebody right now and we would, get serious and all that, is it my time? Because we do have free will, and you can, move ahead of God if you want to, but that's not necessarily going to get you ultimately what you need, and it's not going to be everything that you thought you wanted. I just know, because I've moved ahead of God before, because I've done the comparison game really bad. And it just doesn't end well. It doesn't always work in your favor. And you can kind of just like leave it alone if you can help it. And let stuff organically happen. Because then you are going to be well equipped for it. And even if you aren't fully 100% ready, you'll be better equipped than if you just kind of ran into it and you weren't ready at all. And so, like I said, that's just something to really keep in mind when thinking about comparison. And when you get to that point where you're like, dang, I'm feeling some type of way. Because quiet as it's kept. I mean, we're all going to have that moment where we look back and we're like, golly, I wanted XYZ so bad. And then you're going to realize it wasn't your time. Because even if you could copy exactly what they did to get what they have, it wouldn't be the same. Like, it still wouldn't be what they have. It wouldn't be the way that they have it. Like, that's kind of like people who try to steal somebody's husband or steal somebody's boyfriend. Like, yeah, you could get him probably, but you wouldn't have him the same way that whoever had him before has had him. Like, it don't work like that. You could get the same car somebody else has, but you're not going to drive it like they do. Like, you can't be somebody else. You can't have what somebody else has. So you might as well get what's best for you, because you're going to know how to run it and work it. As far as contentment goes, I got to work on that too. You just kind of, it's something you got to work at every day. That's what it is. It's a work. Because as people, our minds are always going, like I said, in this world that we're currently living in, where it's like, get it by any means. If you ain't constantly getting it, like, what are you doing? You not making moves. And it's just like, sometimes being still, peace be still. Sometimes being still is the best thing that you can do. Like, and that sounds so controversial to people, because they like, how dare you not be making boss moves? How dare you be sitting still and waiting on God? Like, and that's not to say I'm just sitting here not going to work, not going to class, not trying to better myself or do something for myself. That's just saying, like, sometimes you ain't got to be running 24/7 trying to catch it and get it. Be content where you are, and then you will be blessed with more when it is time. All goes back to timing. Timing is crucial, okay? Okay. This video is gonna be hella long, which I'm not trying to make it, but they just kind of end up being like this. So just to save some time, because I've done my face 1,000 times, I'm just gonna speed this part up, and I look so ghostly right now, but I'm gonna speed this part up, warm up my skin, just do the rest of my face, and then I'll come back and finish off my eyes and my lips and all of that. So we'll be back. Grass isn't always greener on the other side. And I've seen that in people's relationships, romantic friendships, all of that. I've seen that with people's jobs. Like, you may want somebody's job, but you just don't know what it takes to stay there and sustain. And yeah, everything you want is not all it's cracked up to be. And like I said earlier, we've all had some kind of experience with that, where we thought we wanted something and then we got it and it was like trash. And so that's kind of what I'm getting at too. Just like, you don't know if that's for you in the first place. It may be trash. Or it may not even trash. It just may not be what you expected it to be just because you got it. So I just wouldn't set myself up for that. And like I said, I'm working on that too. I'm just gonna put this kind of goldish pencil in my waterline. I'm feeling really bronzy today. But I just wouldn't, be so quick to jump the gun and say, dang, I wish I had that, when you may be like, oh no. I'm just gonna dust the colors or the brown, whatever that I put on top underneath. And then I'm gonna put some mascara on my lower lashes. I've been doing that lately. Y'all, like, if you watched any of my previous videos, you kind of know I just don't, well, I didn't mess with that bottom mascara because it never looked right on me. But I've used the CoverGirl Supersizer mascara, and it's the only thing, I think that's it. Oh, the Supersizer Fibers. It's the only thing that will get these baby lashes snatched, sis, okay? I would definitely recommend that mascara. It does everything. I'm gonna spray the Milani Make It Last setting spray, and I've been loving this. Perfect for oily skin. Then I'm just gonna line my lips with this brown lip liner. Same one I always use. Is by JCat Beauty in the color chocolate. I'm gonna go in with Beauty Mark by NYX, the little lingerie line. I kind of love these. Like, these are really cute. And then just for a little effect, I'll put Chi by ColourPop and the Karuchi collaboration in the middle. Just a little bit. Alright guys, so that is it for this chit chat. Get ready with me on, I guess, contentment, comparison, all that good stuff. So yeah, just if you have to get off of social media sometimes, maybe take a break, do a cleanse, do that, get your mind back right, be grateful for what you have and what you've got going. I know it's hard. Like I said, I'm struggling with it too, but we can do it. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna make it. It's fine. If you've been here before, thank you so much for stopping back by, being a part of the tribe. And if you are here for the first time, thank you so much for clicking on this video and just listening to me talk. If you made it to the end, you're the GOAT, you're the real MVP, and I mess with you. So that's that. So this is where we part ways. We've come to the end of the road. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.